Seventh graders, we're going to be talking about lesson 2.5 today. And like I said before, lesson 2.5 is one that you're going to want to refer to. This is one of the most important lessons that you're going to learn this year. And you're going to be using these skills that you learned today for the rest of the year. Okay? So, pay close attention. This is really important. We're going to be starting to solve equations. Okay? And the goal when you're solving an equation is to prove what the variable equals. Okay? Not just know what the variable equals or to be able to find what the variable equals, but to prove it using math, using the rules that we've learned. Alright? Now, we're going to just focus on adding and subtracting today. And the procedure is just one step. And that is to add the opposite of the number from the side with the variable to both sides. So make sure you have that step in your notes. And now we're going to explain what that means. In every equation, we talked about an equation having an equal sign, right? What the equal sign does is it gives you two sides, like a balance scale. It gives you two sides of an equation. You have on the left side $170 plus another amount. We don't know what that amount is. And then on the other side we have $200. Alright? That's what the equation is. That's the given equation. Now, to prove what x is equal to, you have to use the rules of math. You have to add or get rid of 170 on the left side. So you go to the side with the variable. It says from the from the side with the variable, and that's the left side, right? Left side, right?
Yep, left side, right.
Left side, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
so the left side.
Right. Left. Right.
So you start on the left side, and you add the opposite of whatever number term is there. Whatever the opposite of the number term is, you add its opposite. Now, do you remember what property this is? What if you add a number and its opposite? I'll give you a hint. It has the word opposite in it.
The opposite property.
Yes, it's the opposite property. It's the property of opposites. These are, when we were talking about absolute value, remember what we talked about absolute value? How far is 170 from 0? 170 spaces. How far is negative 170 from 0?
170.
170 spaces. So, if you zoom in, you add the opposites and you always get 0. It seems like a really simple thing, right?
Yep.
But you would be amazed at how many of you all, not just you, but you all get these wrong because you don't add the opposite.
And you don't show your work.
Yep.
Mr. Monsky, why do I spend literally weeks teaching this in 8th grade?
I don't know. I don't know. 70 plus negative 170 is 0, right? And so you have to show that it equals 0. Alright? Okay. Then, another rule in math. Whatever you do on one side of the equation, you have to do the same thing on the other side. You have to be fair when you're solving equations. Okay? You can't treat one side differently because, ooh, I like 170 a lot better than 200. Or I like 200, so I'm just going to focus on that side. No, you can't ignore the other side, people. You have to be fair. And so if I add negative 170 to this side, I have to add negative 170 to this side. Okay, that's the rule. Why do I have to do that? Because it's the rule. Why do you have to throw a soccer ball like this when you're inbounding it?
Because it's
Because it's the rule. But wouldn't it be a lot easier to roll it like this?
No.
Or to throw it like this?
Yes.
Or to kick it?
Yeah. kick it.
But kick
But
will
is
be
that the
harder.
rule?
No.
The rule is to throw it like this.
Yeah.
And to keep 2 feet on the ground, right?
Yeah.
So don't argue with me about why I have to add it to both sides. Okay? Because it's the rule. Because it's the rule of math. It's the rule. Alright? When you're showing your work, you have to add the same thing to both sides. Now, on this side, we talked about this being 0. 0 plus x is also a property. When you add 0 to a number, you get the identity of the number. That's the identity property, the additive identity property. Alright? So, this identifies what x equals. It proves what x equals. And on this side, we prove that 200 plus negative 170 is $30. Alright? Now, it's simple, isn't it? It's adding both sides, adding the opposite of this number to both sides. And adding down and proving what the variable is. It's a simple process. Okay? So, what complicates it is when you start to decide, I don't want to do it that way. I want to just do it this way, or I don't need to do it that way. I have my own way. I have the whatever way of doing it. But I get the same answer. Yeah, but you're not following the rules. Okay? We talked about that. So, it's really, really important. Now, let's look at a model of what this looks like.
Do you need to write this?
Yes, draw this model up. You need to put a model in your notes. This is the same lesson. This is a balance scale, albeit a crude one, and it's not exactly the same on both sides, but they're equal. Trust me. Alright. In this one, the only thing that's different about this one is that the starting amount on the left side of the variable is negative. Okay? We have 1x and negative 3 on the left side, and we have 8 positives, so positive 8 on the right side. Have you done with this? Wake up. Now, we've talked for a long time about getting rid of numbers. How to eliminate something, you add its opposite. Ever since we started adding positive and negative numbers, we've talked about that. A positive number gets rid of a negative number, right? So, if we add 3 positives to this side, it gets rid of these. Okay? But, like I said before, you have to be fair when you're solving equations. So if you add 3 to this side, you have to add 3 to this side. And when you do that, you prove what x is. Because x plus 0 is x, and 8 plus 3 is 11. So x is 11. Okay? Do you understand the process that I'm talking about? AJ.
If there was like 2x on one side and 3x on the other side, couldn't you like subtract 2x from each side and then do it over the x?
Yeah, yep, that's in chapter 3. We're going to be working on that next chapter. Yep.
Wait, 2 sides.
Take a look at this worksheet. Oh, yes, you're right. It says add negative 3, but it should say F3. There. All right. start on the side that only has 8 problems on it. We'll see how far we need to go. Number 1, it has blanks. Number 1 has a plus 8 equals 12. What does this line do? What's the purpose of that line? Sam?
To divide each side.
Yep, to divide the sides. So if this is the left side, this is the right side. And you cannot confuse those sides. That's going to be even more important later when we're solving inequalities. You cannot confuse the sides. You can't change and just move a number from one side to the other. There's rules about moving numbers from one side to the other that we'll talk about later. So, start on the side with the variable. Always start on the side with the variable. Okay? And there's a blank there. What should we do? What should we put in that blank? It says, well, it doesn't say, I guess. It says on the next one. What should we put in that blank? Max?
Plus negative 8.
Plus negative 8. We add negative 8 to this left side, the side with the variable. And then follow the rules. So whatever we add on one side, you have to add the same number. You can't add negative 8 to one side and 8 to the other side. You have to add the same number. Exact same number. In the same way. And then add down. A plus 0. 8 plus negative 8. 12 plus negative 8. Therefore, A equals 4. Okay. Number 2. T minus 3 equals 8. Now, there's a little blank in front of the next line, right here. What should go in that blank? What should go there? Asa? What should we put? What should we put in front of the minus sign? Plus sign, right? Doesn't change our equation. In fact, it makes it easier to solve. Okay? Then, add what? See, the plus sign helps you identify this as a negative 3. We have to add the opposite of negative 3. We don't read this as t minus 3, because then we might add negative 3 to it. If you add negative 3 plus negative 3, you get negative 6. That doesn't help you solve it. We have to add the opposite of this. So we add what, class? 3. Add 3. And add 3. So t plus 0 equals 11. Therefore, t equals 11. I can't tell you how important it is to be able to prove your answer. That's what we're learning how to do. We're not learning how to find what t is, because I know you can do that. In fact, most fourth graders can do that. Okay? So that's not what this lesson is about. This lesson is not about, oh, I know that T is 11. It's about learning a process that fourth graders are not ready for, that you're ready for. Okay? So it's about proving your answer. All right, what I want you to do for tomorrow is finish this side, 1 through 8. Okay? Don't go on to the back side yet. Don't work ahead. Read a book or something after you finish this. All right? Only the side 1 through 8.